We have most of the results from Tuesday night's primary elections. We saw a Trump-backed candidate lose in Iowa and a clearer field for many races come November. Votes are still being counted in California, but Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass will head to a runoff to defend her seat. We're still waiting on the final word about who she'll face, as well as which two candidates will advance to the general election for California governor. And in Iowa, the Trump-backed candidate for governor lost his primary. Democrats are hoping the results will help them flip the governor's seat blue come November. CBS News political reporter Zak Hudak joins me now. So, Zach, let's talk California first. Still waiting for the results. Looks like Republican Steve Hilton has a good chance of making it into the general for governor. What will that mean for the race?
Lindsay, in California, they have what's called a jungle primary. And what that means is rather than voting to nominate a Democrat and a Republican to run against each other in the general election, it is just the top two vote getters. So there is a world where two Democrats or two Republicans could move on. The way it's shaking out, it seems pretty unlikely that would happen. It seems like Steve Hilton has a fairly commanding lead, and it's pretty likely that Xavier Becerra will move on and face him in that general election. I do want to point out that there are about 4.5 million more Democrats than Republicans in the state of California. So assuming that happens, Becerra has a voter registration advantage that Hilton will have to overcome. And one other note I want to make on this is I think one of the major takeaways from those elections yesterday, based on the information we have, is that in California, outsider candidates are doing well. Candidates that have a particularly big platform. Steve Hilton has hosted a show on Fox. We saw Spencer Pratt, who has been on reality TV, perform particularly well in the mayoral race in Los Angeles, as you pointed out. So these are, in a lot of ways, candidates sort of running on the blueprint that President Trump initially ran on. And I think that's a trend that we'll continue to see in races across the country.
Yeah, anti-establishment, but still name recognition. Why did President Trump's endorsement in Iowa not go as far with voters as in other states?
I think, Lindsay, there are a couple factors. That endorsement came fairly late, only 4 days before the primary itself. It's also a state that has faced a lot of hardship as a result of rising gas costs. That has been very difficult for farmers. And while not everyone in Iowa is a farmer, everyone in Iowa knows a farmer for the most part. So I think that has been top of mind. I think another issue is the candidate that Randy Feenstra was running against. That's Zach Lane, who frankly was running on himself, sort of an anti-elite outsider platform. He himself comes from a farming family and runs an investment firm. So he was running a campaign that I think was difficult for Randy Feenstra, a sitting member of Congress, to counter. I don't think that this is a sign that President Trump's endorsement doesn't mean anything anymore. We obviously saw him give a major boost just a few weeks ago in Kentucky to the challenger to Thomas Massie. But this does show he may be slipping in some of these states.
Maine's primary is next week. Any evidence yet whether Graham Plattner's campaign is being negatively affected by his recent controversies?
Lindsay, we were there earlier this week, and we heard from many of his supporters that they are holding out as of now. But I think the thing that time will tell is how he handles this as it continues on and what else comes out. Is there more dirt to be revealed?
Zak Hudak, thank you so much.